What's up, gentlemen? Don't worry, I'll put a shirt on for this one. So here's the deal. I just moved into my house, my new house, my dream house that I've been building for over 3.5 years, and it is better than I could ever imagine. So I was like, you know what, why not, for this video, actually do a thumbnail in my hot tub. And so I was all excited. Somebody actually dropped off a nice Cohiba cigar to me the other day. They're like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. And actually, I'm like, I've lived here. He's like, that's okay, here's a cigar. And so I don't smoke because I have asthma. And so I had this really nice cigar. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. I'm just gonna look all like badass in the pool. And as soon as I get in the pool, I drop the cigar in the pool. But the good news is I'm not actually gonna smoke it. Anyway, what I do want to do today, however, is talk a little bit about investing. One of the things that I've had to learn on my own throughout my career and my life is how do I put my money to work? Because the truth is, if you think that you're going to ever develop financial freedom or get rich by working a 9-to-5 job, chances are it's not going to happen. And so when I really sit back and think about investments that I have made and where I've made them that have dramatically impacted the trajectory of my financial future, I thought I'd actually share 3 of them with you today. But before I do that, you want to see my pool? This is worth the money in and of itself. Check it out. What? Oh my goodness, my hot tub, my pool, and then check this out, right? This is kind of cool. At night, it looks even more amazing, but look at that, boom. Little fountain, little water feature, boom, goes into there, and then boom. It's so sick, oh my God. It's still a little bit surreal. We've been here now for about a week, and moving always sucks. My patio, I absolutely love. And I think that's where we're gonna film today. Good lighting, and I'm excited to talk about this. So, all right, here's the deal. Investments. What were some of the investments that I've made over my life that have truly changed everything? All right, the first one is I invested in myself. You know, and that was one of the things that I did when I didn't have a lot of money, but I knew that, okay, I want to be a personal trainer. And so when I was going to college, which is another investment in me, and the whole idea of like college and higher education, we'll talk about that someday because I do have strong feelings about that. And I think the game is changing. When I was growing up, that was basically like, you only had 2 options, right? You had go to college or get a job. And so I always wanted to own a fitness center. And so I knew, okay, if I want to do this, I need a foundation in terms of business. And so I'm going to go to college. I invested in college. I paid 1/3 of my tuition. My mom paid 1/3 and my dad paid 1/3. The reason why I went to West Virginia University, because at the time they had a good business school. And honestly, it was cheaper to go out of state to West Virginia than it was any in-state Pennsylvania school. Now, you know, tuition has just gotten so astronomically crazy. And so there are a lot of other alternatives if you are somebody that wants to hire or get higher education or invest in yourself in terms of education without actually going to college. One of the things that I did while I was in college when I was a senior was I invested again in myself in terms of my personal training certification. There's a company called ACE, the American Council on Exercise. At the time, there was no such thing as like online like training or courses. And so I had to basically pay like $350 for this book. I studied it, and then I had to go to Washington, D.C. to sit down and take a test. And then I got my results, and I failed the first time. Actually, I didn't fail. You needed to get a B, and I was like 1 point short. And so I studied some more, I went back, and I took the test a few months later, and I passed. But that was $300, and at the time, I didn't have $300 like extra dollars. And so I had to save up, I had to scrape money together, I had to go without. In college, for me, I had to work. I worked all 4 years in college in order to put myself through college. I stayed at college during the summer. I took summer classes because I knew I wanted to get out. I wanted to basically start my career. I didn't know at the time how that was going to happen, but I knew that I needed to have a foundation of education and information. And so I spent the money in order to invest in myself and educate myself. All right, another way that you can educate yourself, join something like Skillshare, right? There's so many different amazing platforms out there that you can basically spend a little bit of money to get the knowledge and the information from these people that have been there, got the t-shirt and done it to help you on your journey. And that's the reason also why I started the White Label Empire. I'll link down below to the White Label Empire if you guys are interested in investing in yourself and joining. Basically now we've got 2 different options. We've got a $97 a month option or a $397 one-time like like lifetime membership. It's really up to you. But the reason why I put this course together and this community was to help people, to educate them, and to basically give all the information that I had from starting and stopping over 20 businesses over my career. I wanted to basically boil it down so that I could give you the nuts, the bolts, the nitty-gritty information that you needed in order to start your journey. If you're interested, guys, hit the link down below. The community is literally the best thing I've ever done. If you are somebody that has ever wanted to start a business, whether or not it's an online business or a brick and mortar business, this course I have designed to help you. All right, you might not use all the information that I share with you, but if you take a few amazing nuggets of knowledge and information and apply it to your venture or your side hustle or whatever that is, and you're successful, it's worth it. Guys, I'm telling you, the best thing you can do in terms of investment right now is invest in yourself. If you want to invest in yourself with me, hit the link down below, join the White Label Empire. Like I said, 2 different membership options. It is amazing. Every week I'm in there doing an hour to 2 hour live training. I'm in there every day answering your questions. I am there to hold your hand and move you to the front of the line and avoid some of the speed bumps and pitfalls that I face. Anyway, the bottom line is this: investing in yourself first and foremost is the best use of extra money you could possibly imagine. Because when you learn something, you're taking that with you for the rest of your life. And then when you think about it, all of these skills, all of these investments that you've made over the course of however many years, right, they stack on top of each other. So you're not starting from zero when you learn something else. Each and every one of you can use extra money and invest in yourself. It is gonna pay off. It is gonna help you basically learn new skills, higher value skills that you can charge more money for, or like I said, start businesses, or learn skills that other people find super valuable. But the bottom line is this: invest in yourself. It will pay amazing returns. The second investment I made that I feel has truly changed everything was invest in people. Employees, staff members, team members, whatever you want to call it. When I got out of my own way and actually decided, you know what, I need help. I can't do this all on my own, especially with Pete and Pedro. When I got out of my way and basically started bringing people on to help me, everybody from my first employee, it was actually a good friend of mine, who I was like, hey, you need some extra money? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why don't you come and help me a few hours a day? And then there was this other dude that I'd see at the gym. I was like, hey, I need a little extra help. Would you be interested? I hired him. Every time I hired somebody, it basically took work off of my plate, and it allowed me to do what I needed to do, which was be creative, think, and be more strategic in terms of the business so that we then could level up and make more money. And then I made the big decision to hire my most expensive employee. His name is Mike Levy. I've talked about him a bunch of times. The decision to bring him on to the team, even though he made a lot of money and this money was profit out of my pocket, ultimately was the best investment I ever made with Pete and Pedro, because it has allowed and helped Pete and Pedro to grow. When you invest in people and you pay them well, and that's just one thing I just want to mention. One of the reasons why my employees, my team members, my family is so incredibly committed and will literally do anything that I ask them for is because they know I've got their back, but they also know they get compensated well. And I am the type of entrepreneur and boss that basically is going to share the wealth. If we are successful, you will be successful. When you adopt this mentality, and when you know and your team knows that you are going to do what you need to do in order to take care of them, and you've got their back and you are there to protect them, they will do whatever you need in order to help the business thrive. Simon Sinek, he's got an incredible TED Talk. It's called like Why Great Leaders Eat Last. I would highly recommend going and check that out. I'm going to link to it down below. It really exemplifies the importance of culture and just your employees knowing that you are on their side and they feel safe. It's the safety. You know, during COVID, when things were all shutting down, I went to my team because I didn't know if we were going to be able to stay in business or if we were going to have to close down. A lot of businesses were having to shut down, and sales just took a huge nosedive. And I came to them, I said, here's the deal. You know, I'm not going to lay anybody off. You guys are all safe. I have saved money. I live below my means. I've got money for us to basically be able to withstand the storm for a while. So you guys are safe. I just need you to basically have my back and make sure we don't waste money and basically just understand if we need to cut back in certain areas. But they knew that I had their back. You know, one of the things that happens is if an employee feels scared, or if they don't feel empowered, or if they're scared to tell you something, or they're scared to take action, it is ultimately going to derail your business. It's also not going to allow them to thrive and flourish like they could and should. And when you have employees or team members that are thriving because they get paid well, they believe in you, they know you've got your back, and they also are passionate about your company, they're literally gonna do anything they need to do in order to help the business and you thrive. But it starts with you taking care of them. And even though it's profit out of your pocket, it doesn't matter, because this profit out of your pocket, think of it as an investment. You put it back into your company, you put it back into your people, and it will produce more revenue and profit for you in the long term. Yes, in the short term, you might have to take a little bit of a cut, but it's okay because it's long term. We're not in this short term, gentlemen. You've got to think of this as the long game, all right? And the last thing I just want to talk about is real estate. Real estate has been one of the things that has changed my financial trajectory, not to mention my overall net worth, because I love real estate. All right, now, the truth is that if you are somebody that is new, just getting into real estate, you have to start small, whether or not it's a small apartment or a condo or a house that you get with some buddies, or you invest some money that you've been saving into something, or you basically are renting out your house or your rooms. Like, whatever you need to do, I would highly recommend you look at real estate, because real estate is an amazing way to basically grow your wealth big time. Few examples for that. My house that I just sold, that I moved out of, I built that house, I bought the lot. All in, I had $1,200,000 into that. I just sold the house for $2.1 million 5 years later. The salon, another example. I bought the building for $730,000. I put another about $1.2 million into it. Now, all the things I'm telling you and saying, you need to have extra money in order to do it, but that's one of the reasons why you're going to invest in yourself and hopefully start a business or a side hustle that over time will allow you to do the things that I have done or that I'm talking about. The salon, I bought the building for $750,000 or around $730,000, $750,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. I did invest another $1.2 million, so I've got $2 million into it, basically, in terms of fixing it up, getting it all straight and situated, and it's worth over $3 million. So once again, boom, my net worth grew $1 million by investing $2 million. But I also now have a tenant, my business, Salon Posta, that's in there that's paying me rent. So now I'm making about $120,000 a year passive income, but then on top of that, I also started another business inside of that that's leasing it from me, that is producing actually we're doing like $4 million a year out of that salon. And because I'm the owner of that with my partner Tony, basically we take distribution, and that's another way to basically grow your wealth. All right, diversification, you've heard that term a lot. Well, it's incredibly important. I am a firm believer that you don't want all of your eggs in one basket, because if that basket falls and all your eggs break, you're fucked. All right, and so some other things. My mom's house, I bought that house for $330,000, all in after renovation, $650,000. It's now worth about $1 million. All right, my office, I bought that. I bought it for $320,000. It's now worth about $500,000. The office next door to me that I lease out to Marietta Wealth Management, I bought that. It was bank-owned asset for $320,000. I put another, say, $30,000 into it cash. It's worth $1.2 million because it's 4,000 square feet and an amazing office space in a desirable area. And so as you can see, real estate is an incredible way to basically have big jumps in your financial wealth. Personally, I'm a huge believer in real estate in terms of its potential and its stability. I am not a huge risk taker when it comes to investing. I'm just not. All right, I feel like I understand real estate a bit. I understand my area. I understand kind of like the dynamics and how it works. I also use my own cash in order to do it. If you are going to be getting a loan, that gets a little bit more challenging, but it's possible. All right, guys, you've just got to be smart, and you've got to live below your means. Living below your means is something that each and every one of you needs to do. I cannot stress the importance, because when you're over leveraged or you've got a lot of debt, it takes a lot of the joy out of life. It also makes it a lot harder to basically earn money, because you are actually paying and making somebody else rich. The reason why I pay cash for all of my real estate is because I have seen how much interest I was paying on my first piece of property that I bought, and it just infuriated me. And so every bit of extra cash, I was paying down that debt. After I filed bankruptcy back in 2006, I never got into financial debt again in terms of credit cards. Credit cards also will crush you in terms of expense, because you are going to be paying 16, 17, 18% interest, and literally you're not going to find a better interest rate anywhere else in order to make more than that, in order to take that money and put it somewhere else. And so you've got to pay down that debt. All right. And with the mortgage rates the way that they are, for me, it just feels better to pay cash. I know that a lot of people say it's not a wise investment, but I am still earning money that I can use and leverage in other areas. I also started a defined benefits plan through my company, A Marino. That is basically like a pension plan that I have set up because I am self-employed. If you are self-employed, ask your accountant about a self-defined benefits plan. It is incredible. It's a lot better than a Roth IRA. It's a lot better than any of these other basically assets, but it is specific and you do need to know what you're doing and have somebody set it up for you. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the weeds about what a defined benefits plan is, but ask your accountant or do a little Google search about what it is. It is an amazing opportunity and platform if you are an entrepreneur. Anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about investing because I've been thinking a lot about it. I have not always been good at it because I've been broke the majority of my life. But once I started to make a little bit more money, it was amazing how when you invest wisely, strategically, it can basically just help you level up financially. And so I just wanted to share my perspective because literally I did not grow up with, a lot of money, and I started from zero. I was bankrupt back in 2006, and I've been able to figure some things out that I just wanted to share with you. Guys, if you haven't joined the White Label Empire, hit the link down below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do it now because it's awesome.